Where did Monique Daniels go? 20 years after her parents claimed she ran away, one of the last people to see her alive, younger brother Andrew, is finally speaking out about what he remembers from her last day.
I remember having the feeling of that there was something wrong.
It began, Andrew says, like a lot of days in the house, with fighting between Monique and her stepdad. Sometime later, Chuck gathered up the boys for a spontaneous fishing trip. Nothing too out of the ordinary about that, but Andrew says what happened next definitely was.
Before we left, you know, my dad was like, hey, you guys need to go and say goodbye to Monique. We all went in there in a single file. Like I was in front and my little brothers were behind me. Monique was in her room.
But Andrew says Chuck only allowed the boys to talk to Monique through her cracked bedroom door.
When I saw Monique, she was on the floor of her, in her bedroom, her legs were crossed. She was still.
After that, Andrew says the boys left without their fishing poles in the pouring rain.
We drove for 2 hours one way and got off on an exit somewhere and went to McDonald's.
And then you came home.
We got home, back to the house, and then my dad pulls the car into the garage.
And he says things only got stranger from there.
And he goes inside the house and leaves us in the car inside of the garage for, you know, it was like an hour or more.
When Chuck finally let the brothers out, Andrew says he rushed to the bathroom and got the eerie feeling he wasn't alone.
I had a real eerie feeling in that bathroom that day, you know. I was actually like scared. I hadn't seen Monique. The shower was closed. There's things that lead me to believe that she was in that bathtub.
Before he could check, Andrew says Chuck hustled all the boys into his bedroom. Then, after telling them he was going to go look for Monique, he locked them in for 2 days.
After that, I don't really remember much of what happened, meaning, you know, I don't recall the incidences after that.
But according to something Angelique heard from another brother, at some point while the boys were locked up, Chuck came back, then left with one of the twins.
He said, the only thing I can remember is being in Dad's truck and there was an oil barrel in the back. That's all I remember.
In Angelique's mind, it was all pointing toward one very grim conclusion.
What was in the oil barrel?
My sister.
So if the list is physical abuse, mental abuse, is there murder here?
I believe that Charles Daniels killed my sister, Monique. And then I believe he put her in an oil drum and he drove her out to where he took her to and he buried her there.
Angelique, you know, the thing is, it's a very serious allegation to claim that your stepfather killed your sister.
Yes.
But Angelique wasn't backing down. In fact, when Andrew first told her his story just a few years ago, she convinced him to go with her to the police. Officers even dug up the family's old backyard based on rumors Monique might be buried there.
We didn't find anything.
What do you have on your hands? Is this a missing persons case?
Yes, it's a missing person case.
We have 2 siblings who are saying they believe their stepfather killed their sister. Isn't that enough for you to open up a murder investigation?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a body to prove that. And we have a witness that has a different testimony that they saw Monique alive.
Who said that they saw her?
The neighbor directly across the street.
So the neighbor said he saw her leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe the neighbor?
No.
So then, what really happened to Monique Daniels? If she really did just run away, why did her parents wait nearly 2 years to report her missing? And one of the biggest questions of all,
What do Monique's parents think about their daughter's mysterious disappearance? We came here to Tampa, Florida to ask them. How are you? My name's Anna Garcia, and I'm from Crime Watch Daily. We've been trying to reach you and your husband, Chuck, about Monique's disappearance. Do you have a few minutes to talk with us?
No, not really.
But when I pressed Candace about Angelique and Andrew's allegations, she did have this to say.
Whatever happened, it's in God's hands. Thank you very much, and I'm going to ask now that you leave.
But just one thing, you know, the allegations are serious that your husband could have killed your daughter. Angelique said that your...
And Angelique is a really messed up young lady. Like I said, before you start taking him, and asking me about anything, you need to just, I think, leave the property.
Okay.
Before I call the police.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Angelique is not a reliable source. You can get the camera off, please.
It was a dead end, but not long after that, another vehicle pulled into the driveway.
Are you Mr. Chuck Daniels? Sir? Hi, are you Chuck Daniels?
You are?
Anna Garcia from Crime Watch Daily. We're doing a story about Monique, who's been missing. Angelique and Andrew have made some very serious allegations against you.
Did you check your sources with them? An alcoholic and a drug addict?
In response to that claim, Angelique acknowledges struggling with years of mental anguish, but denies any substance abuse problems. And while Andrew admits to having issues in the past, he says today he is completely clean and sober.
Under advice of counsel, I have nothing to say to you. Angie, I love you. Sorry about that. Stay off my property.
So what do you think happened to Monique?
In God's hands, I don't know.
Neither parent has ever been charged or named as official suspects in Monique's disappearance. They wouldn't give us any real statement beyond saying that the matter is in God's hands. But there was one person willing to elaborate, one of the youngest of the Daniels boys, Charlie Jr., and he tells a substantially different story than Andrew.
I think I was the last one to speak with Monique, and she was laying in her bed, and she gave me a hug and said, "Have a good day. I'm sorry I'm sick. I can't go with you."
So that's the last time you saw Monique, and she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
But questions still remain, like why fake those letters after the girl's disappearance? Why hasn't anyone heard from her in so long? And what was in that oil drum? For now, the mystery continues.
There are a lot of family secrets here.
Yes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to just move forward. Maybe I need to just let this all be in the past and, you know, keep it hidden too. But I cannot do it. I have to let people know that there was a Monique Daniels.
Now it is over to you, our Crime Watch Daily viewers, to try to give this family, or at least certain members of this family, the help that they desperately need. If you know anything at all about the disappearance of Monique Daniels, please go directly to our website and there you can submit a tip. Or if you need to remain anonymous, you can call or text our toll-free tip line, that number 1844 800 CRIME.